Think you're crushing your crunches at the gym? Honestly, you might be wasting your time. Worse, you could be training your body into bad habits, setting yourself up for lower back pain, neck strain, and a weak core that looks strong but fails when it actually matters. Yeah, that crunch you've done 1,000 times? It might be the reason your abs haven't shown up yet. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually thought about how you perform a crunch? Not just going through the motions, but actually understanding what your spine, your ribs, your pelvis, and your abs are doing in that moment? Most people don't. They just drop to the floor, yank their head forward, fling their elbows around, and call it core training. If that's you, it's okay. You're not alone. But it stops here. All right, let's get real for a second. Think of your spine like a chain. Every link has a job. Now imagine bending that chain from the neck and calling it core work. Makes no sense, right? But that's exactly what happens when you do a crunch wrong. Here's the trap almost everyone falls into using momentum. When you jerk forward quickly, your hip flexors, not your abs, are doing most of the work. You're pulling from the wrong place. That burn you feel? That might not even be your core activating. It could be tension in your neck or lower back trying to pick up the slack. And don't even get me started on people who crank on their head with their hands. Look, your hands behind your head are meant to support, not drag. If your chin is glued to your chest, you're not crunching, you're folding. Your spine is screaming, and your abs are just tagging along for the ride. Let me give you a visual. Picture a soda can. Perfectly upright, it's strong. You can stack weight on it, and it won't collapse. But crumple the side just a little, the whole structure fails. That's your core. That's why form matters. Now, I'm not going to give away all the secrets just yet, but here's what I will say. The right way to crunch doesn't feel like a big movement. It's small, controlled, and deep. And when you hit it right, oh, you'll know. It's like flipping a switch and waking up a part of your body that's been asleep for years. So, before I show you how to fix it, let's sharpen your awareness. Next time you do a crunch, notice these 3 things. Are your ribs flaring up toward the ceiling? Are you yanking your head forward or lifting your elbows in? Do you feel your lower back lifting off the ground or tightening up? If the answer is yes to any of those, guess what? You're giving your abs the day off while your spine and neck do the heavy lifting. That's not just ineffective, it's dangerous over time. We're going to fix that. But first, here's a tiny teaser. The most effective crunch starts before you even move. It starts with your breath, with how you set your rib cage, with how your spine locks into the floor like it's anchoring the movement. You're not trying to get your shoulders to your knees. You're trying to fold your ribs down toward your hips, not forward, down. That tiny shift in intention changes everything. And I know what you might be thinking. It's just a crunch. How hard can it be? But think about this. If you can't activate your core properly in a simple crunch, what do you think happens when you're lifting weights, sprinting, or even just sitting all day? Core weakness isn't just about abs. It's about posture, power, and injury prevention. Here's a quick challenge for you. Next time you do a crunch, slow it down. Cut the speed in half. Then ask yourself, what's really doing the work right now? If it's not your abs, something's off. Stick with me because in the next few minutes, we're going to break this down step by step. I'll show you exactly how to position your body so your abs fire first, not your neck, not your hips. We'll make small adjustments with huge payoff. And once you feel the right way to crunch, trust me, you'll never go back. All right, so now that your eyes are open to what not to do, let's start building your crunch from the ground up. Literally. Lie down flat on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor about hip-width apart. Just breathe for a second. Before anything moves, before any crunch even starts, this is where the real work begins. Now, place your hands on your ribs. Feel them. Are they popping up toward the ceiling? That's your first fix. Exhale slowly, like you're blowing out candles in slow motion, and draw your rib cage down and in. Not by sucking in your stomach, but by actively engaging your core to press your ribs closer to your pelvis. Boom! Your abs are already working and you haven't even moved yet. That's what I meant when I said the crunch begins before the crunch. Now, for your pelvis, this is key. Most people arch their lower back without even realizing it. But if there's a space between your lower back and the floor, you're leaking power. I want you to gently tuck your pelvis, just enough so your lower back kisses the ground. Not forcefully smashing it into the floor, just enough to feel connection. That's your second anchor point. Let's stack this up now. A feet grounded, e.g. ribs pulled down, A pelvis tucked, A lower back in contact with the floor. Feel that tension? That's the beginning of a proper crunch. Now, place your fingertips lightly behind your ears, not locked behind your head. Your elbows should be wide, like you're trying to touch the floor with them. This isn't just about positioning, it's about taking your neck out of the equation. Here comes the movement. Slowly, I mean slowly, lift your shoulders off the floor just an inch or two. That's it, not chest to knees, not curling your entire back off the mat, just enough to peel your shoulder blades slightly off the ground. And here's the magic. As you lift, think about your ribs sliding down toward your pelvis, like they're trying to meet in the middle, not forward, not up, down. If you feel a deep contraction in the center of your abs, like someone just cinched a belt around your waist, you're doing it right. Now let's talk breathing. Most people hold their breath during crunches like they're bracing for impact, but your breath is your secret weapon. Exhale as you crunch up. It forces your deep core muscles to fire. Not just your six-pack muscles, but the internal stabilizers that actually matter. That's where true strength comes from. Let's try it again. Ready? Set your position, ribs down, pelvis tucked, low back grounded. Now breathe in, Oblique, exhale slowly, and lift just slightly. Oblique, hold for 1 second at the top, feel that squeeze, and then lower down with control. Did you feel the difference? Now compare that to what most people do. Oblique, yank their head forward, elbows cave in, their ribs flare up, and their lower back lifts off the floor. It becomes a chaotic swing of body parts instead of a focused core contraction. That's why the typical crunch never delivers results. It's not because crunches are bad, it's because they're done wrong all the time. Here's something cool, even just 5 or 6 reps done this way are more effective than 50 sloppy ones. Because now you're training quality, not quantity. And when you train with control, your body remembers. It learns to fire the right muscles, protect your spine, and build real strength that shows up not just in your abs, but in every move you make. Standing, lifting, running, even sitting. Think about that for a second. One small change in how you move can create a ripple effect across your entire body. That's how powerful precision is. Stick with me, because in the next part, we're going to level this up. I'll show you the most common, intermediate mistake people make even after they think they've fixed their form. We'll correct it, and then I'll give you a few advanced tweaks that'll light up your core like never before. You ready to level up? Let's keep going. Now that you've got the basics locked in, and you felt that real core activation most people never reach, it's time to take it up a notch. Because even when your form looks clean, there are still a few sneaky habits that can creep in and dull your progress. Here's the one that catches almost everyone, even those who know what they're doing. Leading with the chest instead of the core. It's subtle. The movement looks right, but the intent is off. You see the chest rising, but the core? It's passive. The abs aren't pulling the ribcage down, they're just along for the ride. I want you to flip the switch in your brain. From now on, every rep starts with this internal command, ribs to pelvis. Not chest up, not neck forward, not sit up, ribs to pelvis. Do it right, and you won't need 20 reps. You'll be done at 8, maybe 10, because the work will finally be coming from the right place. All right, let's make this more dynamic. Here's a challenge, Oblique. On your next set, add an isometric hold at the top of each crunch, just a 3-second pause. Squeeze. Don't let your ribs flare. Don't lose the pelvis tuck. Breathe out during the hold. You'll feel your entire midsection tighten up like a corset. Front, sides, even deep inside. That's your true core turning on, not just the six-pack muscles, but your deep stabilizers, the ones that protect your spine, transfer force through your body, and give you real control over how you move. Want another tweak? Here it is. Oblique. Instead of placing your hands behind your head, reach them toward the ceiling. Palms facing in, arms straight. Now crunch. This shifts the leverage. Suddenly your core has to work harder to manage the same lift. No more relying on the neck or traps. It's all abs now. And if you want to turn the dial up even more, lift your legs to tabletop, knees stacked over hips, shins parallel to the floor. This forces your lower core to engage just to keep the legs stable. But only do this once your form is rock solid. No arch in the back, no flared ribs, otherwise you're just layering dysfunction. Let me ask you something, can you feel the difference now? It's not about big movements, it's not about speed, it's not about reps, it's about precision and intention. That's the difference between training and just exercising. So let's recap the right way to crunch Oblique. Set your base. Feet grounded, knees bent, spine neutral. Exhale before you move. Pull ribs toward pelvis. Gently tuck the pelvis. Flatten your lower back into the floor. Keep your chin slightly tucked, elbows wide, or arms reaching up for more challenge. Lift slowly, just until the shoulder blades peel off the ground. Think ribs down, not chest up. Exhale on the way up, hold for a beat, lower with control. Stay connected. Quality over quantity, always. Now, here's your challenge. Try 10 flawless reps. No momentum, no neck strain, no rib flare, just pure, controlled, intentional movement. And when you finish, sit up and ask yourself, did I feel my abs like that before? If the answer is no, welcome to Real Core Training. This is how you build strength from the inside out. This is how you protect your spine, improve posture, and unlock explosive power in everything from lifting to running to just standing tall. And yeah, it's how you carve out real definition too. But that's just the bonus. Keep practicing. Slow is strong. Controlled is powerful. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need endless reps. You just need to move with purpose. The crunch isn't dead. It's just been misunderstood. Until now. You've got the knowledge. Now earn the results.